Hello peeps, welcome to FTR. Now European football might not grab quite the same headlines as the Premier League every single day, but trust me, there's been loads going on across the continent this week. From former Premier League players finding new clubs, to some seriously exciting young talents making big moves, there's plenty to get stuck into. Let's get into it. We'll start over in France, where Giovanni Reyna has officially completed his move from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Strasbourg. The American international joins for a reported fee of around €3 million and signs a long-term contract after what has been a frustrating couple of years in Germany. At 23 years old, Reyna is still viewed as one of the most technically gifted players to come out of the United States in recent times. Injuries have unfortunately interrupted his development, but when he's fit, he's an absolute joy to watch. He can play as an attacking midfielder on either wing or even slightly deeper if needed. He's comfortable receiving the ball in tight spaces, loves driving at defenders, and has always had an eye for a clever pass. Strasbourg have built quite a young, ambitious squad over the last couple of seasons, and Reyna feels like exactly the sort of player who could rediscover his best form there. Considering the fee involved, this could end up looking like a bit of a bargain if he stays fit. Next up, Club Brugge have officially completed the signing of Freddie Potts from West Ham United. The reported fee is around €10 million, making him one of the Belgian champions' biggest additions this summer. Potts is 22 years old and mainly operates as a central or defensive midfielder. If the surname sounds familiar, that's because his dad is Steve Potts, the West Ham legend who spent almost his entire career with the Hammers. Freddie came right through the West Ham academy and has always been highly regarded. After impressive loan spells helped him gain regular senior football, Brugge have decided now is the time to bring him over to Belgium. He's composed on the ball, works incredibly hard out of possession, and seems to make the right decision more often than not. Plus, he'll now get the chance to test himself in the Champions League. That's a pretty exciting next step for a player who's still got plenty of room to develop. Moving over to Germany now, where Eintracht Frankfurt have officially signed Raphaël Onyedika from Club Brugge. The Nigerian international has signed a contract running until 2031 after establishing himself as one of the Belgian League's standout midfielders over the last few seasons. At 25 years old, Onyedika has built a reputation as a proper modern defensive midfielder. He's strong, athletic, reads the game really well and covers an unbelievable amount of ground. But what often gets overlooked is how calm he is in possession. He's not just someone who wins the ball back. He starts attacks as well. Frankfurt have done a brilliant job over recent years of identifying players before they become household names, and this feels like another transfer that fits that model perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about him moving again for double the money in 2 or 3 years' time. Now then, Como just don't seem to be slowing down. The ambitious Italian side have agreed a deal with Chelsea worth around €30 million, plus another €6 million in add-ons for Trevoh Chalobah. It's not officially announced just yet, but all the major reports suggest it's only a matter of time. Chalobah is 27 now and has spent the majority of his career at Chelsea, coming through the academy before becoming an important squad player over the last few seasons. He's capable of playing as a centre-back, right-back, or even in midfield if needed, and that versatility is probably one of his biggest strengths. Como aren't thinking small anymore. They're building a squad that wants to compete with some of Serie A's established clubs. And signing a player with Premier League experience and European football under his belt would be another huge statement of intent. And they're not stopping there either. Como have also agreed a deal for Brazilian fullback Couto from Borussia Dortmund. The proposed move is a loan worth around €2 million with an option to buy believed to be over 20 million. Couto is still only 24 and has developed into one of the most exciting attacking fullbacks in Europe. If you've watched him before, you'll know he absolutely loves getting forward. Sometimes you genuinely forget he's supposed to be defending because he's constantly bombing down the wing, whipping crosses into the box, and taking defenders on. Defensively, there's still room for improvement, but going forward, he's electric. Pair him alongside some of Como's attacking signings, and they could become one of the most entertaining teams to watch in Italy. Another official deal now, and Bayer Leverkusen have completed the signing of Spanish left-back Miguel Gutiérrez from Napoli. The reported fee is around €30 million, with the defender signing a contract until 2031. At 25 years old, Gutiérrez has quietly developed into one of Europe's most complete attacking fullbacks. Originally coming through Real Madrid's academy, he's become known for his quality on the ball, intelligent movement, and brilliant delivery into dangerous areas. Leverkusen have had to replace some huge players over the last couple of seasons, but they continue to recruit incredibly well. Gutiérrez looks like another player who's arriving at exactly the right point in his career. If he settles quickly into the Bundesliga, I can genuinely see him becoming one of the league's best left-backs. Over in the Netherlands now, PSV Eindhoven have agreed a deal to bring in experienced Serbian international Filip Kostic. The move isn't officially over the line just yet, but the medical is expected before he signs a contract until 2028 after leaving Juventus as a free agent. Now 33 years old, Kostic has played at the highest level for years. Whether it's the Bundesliga, Serie A/H, the Champions League, or international football with Serbia, he's been there and done it. He's probably best known for those dangerous whipped crosses from the left-hand side, and despite his age, he can still cause defenders plenty of problems. For PSV, it's a clever signing. Sometimes experience is just as valuable as youth, especially when you're trying to compete in Europe. Back in France, where Strasbourg looks set to complete another eye-catching move by bringing in Chelsea goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. The 24-year-old Danish keeper is expected to arrive on loan, with the final salary details still being ironed out before the deal is completed. Jorgensen only joined Chelsea last summer, but first-team opportunities have been hard to come by. For a goalkeeper, sitting on the bench doesn't do anyone any favours. Strasbourg can offer him exactly what he needs: regular football, responsibility, and the chance to prove he can be a number one over the course of a full season. With Reyna already through the door and Jorgensen potentially joining him, Strasbourg are quietly putting together a really interesting squad. They might not be challenging for the League One title just yet, but don't be surprised if they cause a few of the bigger clubs plenty of problems this season. Right then, let's move on to one of the most exciting young players in world football. Franco Mastantuono looks set to spend this season on loan at Fiorentina after Real Madrid agreed a deal for the 18-year-old Argentine sensation. The agreement doesn't include a buy option either, so Fiorentina are essentially getting one season to enjoy one of football's brightest prospects before he heads back to Madrid in the summer of 2027. Now, if you've somehow not heard of Mastantuono yet, trust me, you will. He's already been tipped as one of the next superstars to come out of Argentina. Left-footed, unbelievably comfortable on the ball, brilliant between the lines and full of confidence. He plays with the sort of swagger you'd expect from someone 10 years older. Fiorentina supporters are going to have a lot of fun watching him this season, and if he performs anything like people expect, every match is going to have scouts filling the stands. It's another reminder of just how clever Italian clubs can be in the loan market. Staying in Italy, Monza have reached an agreement with Southampton for 19-year-old winger Jay Robinson. The move is expected to be a straight season-long loan with no option to buy, meaning Southampton clearly still see him as part of their long-term plans. Robinson is one of England's brightest young wide players and has impressed throughout the Saints Academy with his pace, direct running, and willingness to take defenders on one-against-one. Italian football can be a brilliant place for young players to develop tactically, so this feels like a smart move all round. Monza get an exciting attacking option for the season, while Southampton can hopefully bring back a more experienced and more complete player next summer. Sometimes these loan moves don't make the biggest headlines, but they can end up being some of the most important for a player's career. Back over to France now, where Rennes have officially strengthened their defence by signing Charlie Cresswell from Toulouse. The England under-21 international joins on a season-long loan with an obligation to buy next summer, with the overall package widely reported to be worth around €22.5 million. At 23 years old, Cresswell continues his rise after leaving Leeds United a couple of years ago. He's exactly the type of old-fashioned centre-back that fans love, strong in the air, aggressive in the tackle, and never afraid to throw himself in front of a shot. But he's also improved massively with the ball at his feet over the last couple of seasons, which is becoming more and more important in modern football. Rennes have developed plenty of talented defenders over the years, so it'll be interesting to see how Cresswell progresses there. If he has a strong campaign in League One, Don't be surprised if he starts pushing himself into the senior England conversation as well. Another official deal now, and Getafe have signed Georgian defender Saba Sazonov following his departure from Torino. The 24-year-old centre-back has signed a one-year contract after spending the last few seasons in Italy. Sazonov is a proper physical defender, 6'4", strong in the air, and someone who enjoys the defensive side of the game. Getafe have always built their success on being difficult to play against, so he feels like a very natural fit for the club. He's not necessarily the flashiest signing you'll see this summer, but sometimes those are exactly the players who quietly become fan favourites after a few months. Next up, Rangers have officially completed the signing of Japanese winger Daisuke Yokota from Hannover 96. The reported deal is worth around €3.5 million, potentially rising to around 4 million with bonuses, and the 26-year-old has signed a 3-year contract at Ibrox. Yokota is an exciting player to watch. He's quick, direct, likes running at fullbacks and isn't afraid to have a shot when the opportunity opens up. Rangers have been looking to add a bit more creativity and unpredictability in the final third, and Yokota certainly brings that. Scottish football is never the easiest league to adapt to, especially for attacking players coming from abroad, but if he settles quickly, he could become a really entertaining addition to the Premiership this season. And finally, we finish with by far the biggest story of the episode. Mohamed Salah is on the verge of completing one of the most surprising transfers of the entire summer. The Egyptian superstar is expected to join Trabzonspor on a free transfer after leaving Liverpool, with a 2-year contract ready to be signed. Just let that sink in for a second. For nearly a decade, Salah has been one of the defining players of the Premier League era. Goals, assists, trophies. He's done just about everything you can do in English football. A Champions League winner, multiple Premier League titles, countless golden boots. Liverpool legend doesn't even begin to cover it. Now, at 34 years old, he's about to begin an entirely new chapter in Turkey. And while some people will naturally look at his age first, don't make the mistake of thinking Salah is finished. Last season, he was still producing numbers that most forwards can only dream about. His movement is still elite, he's still ridiculously intelligent with his positioning, and his finishing ability hasn't disappeared overnight. For Trabzonspor, this isn't just a football signing, it's a statement to the rest of Europe. Bringing in a player of Salah's profile immediately raises the club's global profile. Shirt sales will go through the roof, the stadium will be packed every week, and suddenly people all over the world will be paying attention to the Turkish Super League who perhaps weren't before. It's the sort of transfer that reminds you football can still surprise us. One minute you're expecting another move to Saudi Arabia, the next he's preparing to line up in Turkey instead. If it all goes through as expected over the next few days, it'll undoubtedly go down as one of the biggest European transfers of the summer. That's all for this episode. Let me know down in the comments which move you think is the smartest bit of business, and which one could end up being the bargain of the season. As always, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, do all the YouTube stuff, like subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.